Hey everybody, Mike Copera with podcastcondition.com, bringing you the 127th episode of What You Drinking. Here with Dan. What's up, Dan?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a long week so far, and it's only been 2 days of actual work. So,
Tell me about it. It's been kind of brutal here too.
Yeah, what's going on by you guys?
Yeah. Well, it's we're kind of in the final sprint for the Mundelein Craft Beer Festival this Saturday. So it's a long story behind it all, but basically what it comes down to is that Mundelein wants us to get a permit to pour homebrew at the festival, because in years past there was a incident where they tried to have homebrew as part of the festival, and they almost got shut down because of it. So laws have changed since then. And I've been going back and forth, and basically on my third attempt to get this permit, not because we've done anything wrong, but because it's just one comedy of errors after another. So
because Illinois.
Yeah, in this particular case, they did kind of say, yeah, it was our bad. So I give them credit for that. But the end game now is that I have to hit the metro train down to Chicago and go to the State of Illinois building and get this permit in person, because there's exactly 2-3 days left.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there's just no way that we'd get it mailed and turned around in time that way.
Right.
So
makes sense. Oh, I've got a gusher.
Uh-oh. No. So anyway, hi, everybody. As Mike takes care of that. So I don't know if anybody else has heard of the Mundelein Craft Beer Festival. There's a local brewery here named Tighthead Brewing that's hosted it for the last, I think it's in its 5th year now, and it's kind of a staple up here in the northern suburbs of Chicago. So hopefully oh man, that was a gusher. Is there anything left? Oh wait, he can't hear me yet. Hold on a second.
Hello.
Left?
Yeah, but there's also a big mess. It's not horrible, but luckily we've got a bathroom right off of this bedroom, so
nice
with that. Fun. So what do you got?
I have homebrew. I was seeing if this is carbonated yet. It looks like it's carbonated, but I'm not sure how much yet. This is my pale ale that I'll hopefully be pouring at the festival, assuming we get this permit.
Oh, nice. No Saisons tonight?
No. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I added a new hop this time. It's actually an experimental hop that they're only offering to homebrewers at this point, which is called HBC 438, and it's got a really pretty distinctive orange character to it, and it's really very good. It's mixed along with the Nelson Sauvin and the Galaxy pretty well.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can salvage this beer.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, what's up? Hey, Mike. Yeah, the gusher. I'm gonna be right back.
Hey, what are you up to, Mike?
Hey, it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has been a little while. How you been?
Pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah. Are we started? What's going on with Mike?
Yeah, we are live on the air. Mike has opened up his beer. It has gone whoosh, and is now in various different parts of his room, and
Nice.
he's in a cleanup mode right now. So we get to talk about Boston for a second, or Chicago, or whatever you want to talk about. So how are things going out with you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's nice here. It's nice here. Finally, it took a long time, but it's warm during the day and hasn't been terribly hot, so it's been nice at night too. So been enjoying that. Oh, look at that.
Still coming.
Going, damn.
Yeah, I went back in the bathroom and it was like still erupting out of there. Not like quickly, but it was still like slowly pouring out. So Mike, do you have a size on yourself?
I do. I have. It's called Labonte from Wicked Weed.
Oh,
Mm.
I always hold my beers up to the camera as if people can see it, but I don't know. My camera's not good at displaying beer labels, so hopefully this is
Good.
I can see that. That's clear as a bell.
So it's a tart farmhouse ale with pear. Um, it's fantastic. It's so good. I've a friend of mine is in Atlanta and is checking Wicked Weed beers into Untapped all the time, and he always talks about how great they are. And just very recently, they've been appearing here in Massachusetts, and so I found this one the other day, and I knew that we had the Saison episode coming up, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to try it out. Um, it's fantastic. It's not quite as funky as I think your usual saison would be, and I think it's perhaps because well, let me read the description here, and I think it's because of the pears, basically. But it says Labonte is open fermented with our house Brettanomyces culture. This beer is then blended with a portion of golden sour and onto a half-pound per gallon of French pears. Labonte is then aged in our foeder, Foeder,
Pooter.
Right.
foeder.
That's like the big wooden barrels.
Oh, okay. Foeder until it reaches perfection. Bottled on February 12th, 2016. So I think it's the pears because I get a little more sweetness than I think you would typically get. But it's awesome. It's really, really good. So looking forward to trying some more from Wicked Weed. Hopefully they continue to distribute here in Massachusetts because this is a good one.
Yeah, they're. I've heard a lot about them. Where are they based out of? I forget. Is it
North
Nashville?
Carolina.
North Carolina. That's right.
Ooh, I'll have to check out and see if they're around when I go there this summer.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, they should get distributed out to the Outer Banks. I'll have to check it out. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's cool. Looks like a good beer. Do you have any
Yeah.
others from them at this point, or just?
So this was actually the first. There's been a couple stores that I go to that have been. I follow them on Twitter, and occasionally they'll post that they got this or that from Wicked Weed. But this one, this is actually I bought this from a bottle shop near where I work, in Boston, and I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago they posted that they had gotten this in, and then I went like the next day or 2 days after and picked up a bottle. And at that time that was the only one that they had from them, but I've seen them posting other things on Twitter about them getting beers in from Wicked Weed, so I'm sure there's more coming.
Nice. Yeah, I would be interested to hear how the other ones are from them because like I said, I don't know anyone who has access to them, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I've got a beer here that I've not had before. It's something I've had many of their different other styles. I mean, they all do great like farmhouse ales and wild yeast beers and things like that. But this is a perennial artisan ales beer called Saisons de Lis. And it's a saison brewed with chamomile flowers and cool little label. I love all their labels first of all, but their logo's really cool too.
Yeah.
But so I looked this one up, and what is this at about 5% ABV. I'll read the description first. It's a year-round release, so you can get this at any time. It's a straw-colored Belgian-style saison brewed with chamomile flowers. It's fermented with a traditional saison yeast strain that imparts fruity and spicy notes that dovetail perfectly with the tea-like quality of the chamomile. Finish is dry, tart, and refreshing. I agree with all that. It's I don't know. This is really good. I would. I kind of wish I opened this with dinner because I think this would be really good. I had like grilled asparagus, and for some reason I feel like that would be really good with this. For some reason, I would also like to have this with like some cheese or something like that. It's really good. It's got You can smell the chamomile more than you taste it, but it is there when you drink it. It's just it's not as prominent as a lot of other beers that use chamomile have it, and I kind of like it. It's really good,
Mm.
but it is really dry. Yeah, I love this one. I
Sounds
was very
interesting.
tempted to get the Saison DuPont again, but it was I just did because I was looking and we did Saisons like 9 episodes ago. I was like, I feel like when we landed on it, I was like, I feel like we just did this like a couple episodes ago, and I looked back and I was like, yeah, it's less than 10 episodes since I did that exact beer too. So I was like, let's go with some.
Did we not? How did we end up with it one after another? Did we not take it off the
I
wheel?
don't know. Did we add it again, Dan, when we were?
I think it was added again. I think it
I
actually
think-
did get popped back on.
Yeah, I think we were like looking for some summery styles, and that might have got thrown back on. But not that it's a problem for you, I assume, since I think that's one of your favorite styles. I know it's one of mine.
Yeah, it is. The more saisons, the better, in my opinion.
Man, my phone is exploding right now. So so what was I going to say? Oh, have you guys? First of all, Dan, you were talking before Mike jumped on. You were talking about the Mundelein Craft Beer Fest. There's another festival going on the same weekend, isn't it? Or
Yeah, there is actually, and it's right next the village next door. It's Grace Lake a craft beer festival, and it's a funny story because both of them are pretty pissed about the whole mess this year. But I guess that one of them gauged it their festival to be on the something like the first Saturday of the month or something like that, and the other one gauged it to be the Saturday after Memorial Day. So for whatever reason, those days haven't been the same day until this year, and neither one of them even thought about it until it was too late. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
do you think there's going to be anybody who goes to both? Is it close enough to where that is a possibility?
It's close enough that you could, but they're going to be, they're only 4 hours each, and they're on, I think, at the exact same time, like from 1 till 5. So my gut is saying that the chances are pretty slim. I mean, it's a lot of money to spend to be at two half beer festivals, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
have
someone
a feeling-
was asking me if I was going to go to the Mundelein, and not that I could, but even if I was free, like I just went to Beer Under Glass, and that was pretty amazing, and I can't imagine there being anything different. I remember going to Beer Under Glass and then a couple other fests like around that same time, and I was like, I had all these just last week, and not that it's a bad thing if you find some good stuff, but
right.
I'm hoping Kevin jumps on because I wanna talk about Beer Under Glass, but I'll wait till like the later half. Except one thing I want to mention is that the first beer I had was we were near the Goose Island tent, and O'Boyle told me what he had seen, and so I went there, and it was like I think they called it the Cuvée of Darkness, and it was Goose Island combining like I don't remember which years, but it was like a multiple blend of different Bourbon County stouts, and it was so good. It was like all these different old aged Bourbon County stouts
Nice.
blended together. It was awesome. But I'll let the fest talk go until towards the later half of the show in case Kevin decides to join us since he was there with me. But man, it was a great turnout, and it was a really fun fest. So I'm hoping we could talk about it. How about you, Mike? Any fests near your area or anything you plan on going to in the next couple months or anything like that?
Nothing. Well, got a baby arriving next month, so
That's right. I
don't
can't
know.
believe it's
Congratulations,
next month.
man.
Thanks. So I don't know if I'll be headed to any festivals anytime soon.
Probably not. I would say you're
Probably that's a safe.
you're
safe.
on like a one beer a night quote, like a mandatory one beer a night kind of.
One beer a night, but it'll be every night. This probably will be the schedule. But yeah, so probably nothing in the near future. But I went to Jack's Abbey 2 weeks ago. and I think that's probably the third time I've been there since they opened their new brewery. I had gotten a gift certificate for my birthday, and so I was going to go with Kristen, but she was like, she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm not going to enjoy going. You should just go. She's like, I don't know, when we would be able to go. So you should just go with one of your friends. And so that's what I did. So we had a good time there. Sampled a whole bunch of beers. They're doing well when we went, they were still in the middle of their. They have a beer called Framing Hammer that they release. They age it. They do a bunch of different varieties of it, and they age it in various barrels. I had a brandy one. They do bourbon barrels. There's a coffee version, and then they also have like a peanut butter and jelly version, coconut one. I tried. I think I've tried them all except for downstairs. I've got the coffee bourbon one. I haven't tried it yet, and then I also have just the straight bourbon one. I haven't had that one yet, but I got a bottle downstairs. Of the ones that I've had, I think the standout was the coconut one. Believe it or not, it's awesome. It's I mean, I like coconut a lot, so I was very interested to try it, but man, it was good. It's a good beer. It's a neat blend, that's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
coconut's great in the beers too because it's oily. You run into the same problem that you run into with regular peanut butter and trying to get the flavor to infuse. But if you can just infuse the snot out of it, you get some pretty wildly awesome results.
yeah. The Death by Coconuts by Oscar Blues was amazing. Did you guys both have that?
I haven't had
I
that one
remember
yet.
that. That was a lot of coconut flavor. That was pretty awesome.
You're I don't know if Mike, you see this too, Dan. You're kind of like in the Matrix. You're kind of it's hard to hear everything you're saying completely clearly.
Oh, all right. Is that better?
No. Yeah, it's like it's freezing every like couple seconds.
Yeah.
Hmm?
That's weird. No, it's
Yeah, he's very pixelated now at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
One other thing I'll say about Jack's Abbey too is that the food there is not only reasonably priced but delicious.
They didn't have food before they moved, right? This other location.
They didn't. They had food trucks that would come by every now and then at the old place, but the full-on restaurant is new. It's great. They had flatbreads and a whole bunch of they have like a sausage of the day. It's very German Bavarian beer hall style that they have there. So they've got things on the menu like goulash and all sorts of hearty German style foods and stuff like that. But it's all delicious. It's a great place. Great place.
Yeah, I like that place a lot. Do they still have the original location too, or are they just?
Actually, so no, I think they leased it and they just gave up their lease. But I heard the other day that there's actually a new brewery that's some people have leased that space and plan on starting a brewery there in the old Jack's Abbey brewery.
So wait, how far away did they move from the old spot?
It's like 2 miles.
Okay, so it's still in Framingham and.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's close. Yeah, they really didn't move very far away. It's just that they increased their space by 4 or 5 times probably what they had. But yeah, shockingly, their old space is being rented by a group that's going to start a brewery.
Why not? Smart. It's like I think we talked about it last episode, Dan, how Break Room Brewing here in Chicago is no more as of right now actually, because I know I've driven past it last weekend actually. It's all the windows are all papered up and you can't see inside other than like the one tank that's in front of the one side door, but But yeah, Finch is going to be, well, not, it's no longer Finch's Brewing, it's Finch Brewing.
Right.
And they're taking over in there, and what was it, Ale Asylum? That's also kind of aligned with them somehow.
No, it's not Ale Asylum. I want to say it's like Hypothesis.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened fast. I mean, I guess that's not a
They were talking
surprise.
about like July being the new start date of the new place. So
Yeah. Now I just remember there being one fiasco after another when they were when Finches was still Finches, and they were talking about going into long growth up around here, and it doesn't surprise me that there's a major change in the guard now.
I mean, Finch isn't bad. I've had some of their, when they first opened up or started, I had a couple of their, I don't know, I can't remember what it was. It was probably their pale ale, the green can. They're one of their flagships, but it was like, it was decent, nothing special. I had a ton of it because I had a friend who was just like, got a case of it, don't really want it, do you want it? And I bought it really cheap, and I had it for like a whole week of vacation that year. And it was good, but after a while I was like looking for something new.
Yep.
And they just don't have a ton of other things. They've got the barrel aged, what's that pig one that they have?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forget the name. Like barrel-aged swine something, or
something like that. Yeah. That's the only thing I've heard anyone like raving about from them. Not to say that they're bad. I just and it sounds like they're going to be tweaking some stuff. So we'll see how it turns out. The fact that I don't think they had a tap room or a restaurant or anything like that before. So
no.
they may amp it up with that, and I'm always willing to have it fresh off the tap at the place it's being made. You can't really, I mean, you can really judge the beer based on that when it's this is as fresh as you can get it.
Well, what was weird about them though is that it was almost easier to find Finch's beer just about anywhere else in the country than it was to find it in Chicago. I mean,
I've heard people say that, but I mean, I've never had a problem seeing it on the shelf. It's just I don't think anyone buys it here. There's just too much available here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless they're shipping other stuff that we can't find here that people are raving about. All I see is their standard stuff.
Yeah. No, and that I think was maybe part of the problem is that they were really focused on sales outside of the Chicago area. So you were seeing stuff moving outside of the state, and so you had people buying more of their different kinds of stuff because the brand was more successful there, whereas you got into town here and the brand wasn't doing much, so people were like, well, I'm not going to start buying a whole bunch of other different Finch's stuff if the stuff I bought in the first place isn't moving. So
how's Revolution doing out there, Mike? Are you still seeing plenty of them around, or is it kind of softened up a little bit?
No, I've been seeing their stuff, kind of the same stuff. I don't know. I guess what you would call it, kind of their flagship beers. The Eugene, I think that's a porter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then I'm blanking on the rest of them, but
By the Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero, yep.
Maybe Bottom Up Whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have it's like a lighter ale, like a blonde or something like that?
The Wit.
Yes, yeah, the Wit. So is that? I think I'm seeing those beers more and more, but nothing beyond those beers. Nothing new or nothing. I haven't tried yet, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you might eventually see something like a Galaxy Hero. Yeah, they basically have a series of IPAs that feature an individual hop, like Galaxy. What was the most recent one? Crystal. Yeah. The Anti-Hero, or I'm sorry, the Jukebox Hero is. Yeah, I love that one. And that's their black IPA. So you might see some of those, but yeah.
I'll keep an eye out
later on.
Well, they've got some other seasonals like A Little Crazy, which is their Belgian style pale ale.
And we had Merry Fistmas for Christmas. So
Oh
I
yeah, the
think
Christmas.
Oh yeah. There you
yeah.
go.
So yeah, you should see some seasonals coming up. There, I just saw the One's Enough. It's their like 100
Yep.
IBU
Hmm.
IPA or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a
there's tongue
great
shredder.
great name for a 100 IBU.
And what's great is it's the number one and then Z and then NUF. That's how they're done the can. Cool looking can too. I love it.
You know what I
Yeah.
had? What I saw the other day that I actually bought a couple bottles of Dark Horse.
Oh, nice. Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
which I had never seen out here before. And I don't even know. I think I might have had when I was in Michigan and I went to Hopcat. I might have had a Dark Horse, but that was like the only one I've ever had. But yeah, I saw
Right.
a couple different ones that they had from Dark Horse, including that double IPA. I forget the name of it.
Crooked Tree?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this was a
Or
double
Crooked
Crooked
Tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
didn't realize
Yeah.
till like after I cracked it open and had a sip that it was like 12.5%. It's like, wow.
That's a big beer.
It was delicious. It was so good.
I cracked one of the Lavermantois on Memorial Day. It was too beautiful out. We were at my brother-in-law's house at the pool, and I know he likes that style of beer, so I figured I'd share with him. So I've got, I think, 2 more left.
Ah, that's a good one.
Ah, I was in the city in the earlier part of this Saturday, and I stopped at one of my old favorite stores, and they had Jester King, which the only reason they have Jester King there is for anyone who watches this and they don't know Jester King. They're located in Texas, but they are from Chicago. They actually worked at the West Lakeview liquor store that I bought the beers at. So it was a farmhouse table beer. So it was like 2.8%.
Oh wow.
But it was like a wild yeast like table beer. So it was like a farmhouse ale, but it was really good. But I had to grab it because it was Jester King, and I grabbed something from Microphone, and I got some shorts in a can. They had the Soft Parade, so it was really good. But it was nice to have some stuff that I haven't. You can't really get a lot of those outside the city, so it was kind of nice to grab a bunch of stuff. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man.
Kevin.
Hey Kevin.
Just poured my Saison.
What you got?
I have Whisper Kisses from my local Salamoth.
You
Another
gotta
creepy
say it all
beer.
creepy.
What'd you say?
You gotta say it real creepy.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like that somebody's gonna take that video and splice it and make it seem out of context.
I would never do that.
I can't remember if I've ever had this before. That's why I picked it up.
It's a really good one. That was one I actually considered picking up today.
Oh, it is really good.
Yeah.
No, it's very good. It's sweet, but then still kind of dryness. I don't know. It's good.
That's local to you. You probably get it fresh.
Yeah, but I bought it twice as far away as Salamoth is.
So it went from Salamoth to the distributor, back to Vinny's, and then back into
That's
your
right. That's right.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. But that's the joke with my wife and I. Every time we see that beer, we're like, "Whisper Kisses."
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it.
They've
What do you-
changed their labels a little bit.
What's the real quick? I don't need you to go through your whole spiel again for the audience, but what do you have?
I got the perennial Saison de Lis. It's a chamomile flowered Saison.
Is perennial? Is that the one? Is that the one that's out west, like Geneva or something like that?
No,
St. Louis, I want to
St.
say.
Louis.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else then. Okay. No, I'm thinking of Penrose. Never mind.
Oh yeah. Penrose is south, right?
No, it's west.
I thought Penrose was southern Illinois. What am I thinking?
No, I think it's like Fox River. Is somebody hacking in? Is
Someone
that
need a
somebody's
phone?
call?
Someone need to answer the phone?
Oh, that's my phone in the background.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. What? That's right. Someone's hacking into the show.
It's Morpheus calling Dan. Dan was stuck in
That's
the
right.
Matrix earlier this
He
episode.
was in the Matrix.
That's right. I had the red pill.
Dan, you still got your homebrew, or did you pick something else?
Yeah, actually, I have my other homebrew. I was trying to figure out if I should bring one or both. This one's a weird one. The last one I had was a pale ale that had I've been kind of fussing around with. This one is 60% smoked wheat malt, and it's a what is it? It's a Dunkelweizen. So it's interesting because you're getting all the character from the yeast, like the kind of cloves and a little bit of banana, but then you've got the smoky character under there, and it's actually not bad. It's working out pretty well. But I was kind of like, I'm gonna go crazy with this one, and it's either gonna be good or I'm gonna be like, why did I do that? so far I'm good enough. So.
And I've got the Wicked Weed Levante
Oh, okay.
farmhouse ale with pear.
Oh, with
It's delicious.
cool.
It's good. It doesn't have the little less funky than your typical saison. I think because of the pear, but then it's also it's sour. It's a tart ale, so it's not so sweet that you're just getting a bunch of pear either. It's really neat. It's good.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, well, we were waiting on you to talk about beer in a glass, Kev. I didn't want to.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I mentioned was the Cuvée of Darkness.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Do you remember the years that were blended together on that?
No, because it was 12 different versions, and the guy rattled them off like he had memorized them. It included the barley wine. It had all different years of the regular. It had, gosh, I don't remember, a couple different other variants all mixed together. It was cool, but and it was good because Bourbon County's good. But the best comment, I don't remember if I read this or I saw or heard somebody say, it's like, that's pretty cool, but I think I'd rather have any one of those 12 by itself. Because it kind of loses any individual character and just becomes Bourbon County Stout,
Right.
There was there was a brewery there that I didn't even realize was there. Scratch Brewing. They're like really southern Illinois.
Yeah.
And they use they don't. I don't think they use hops in most of their beers. They use like all sorts of different spices that they grow or they gather like naturally around where they're located, and it's supposed to be super rustic, and very just something really different than most other places. Whoa. Oh, did you find that, Kev? I saw
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I also didn't want to lose that.
No, that's good. Kevin was
There's
just
a lot going on in a glass.
Yeah, that was a lot.
And the guy as he's pouring it to me, he rattled it off. He's like, BCFs 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, Prop 13, Templeton Rye 13, 14. I'm like, I just want one.
It was an awesome fest as always, but it made it even extra special or extra nice just because we had great weather this time.
Oh,
it was
that did make a huge difference.
Yeah, it was like perfect weather, and we're actually there till the end where everybody was kind of shutting down while we were trying to like get the last of our beers. I just noticed in the booklet that they actually have like tickets for beers.
Oh, you didn't use all yours?
No.
Oh man,
it's so funny.
Oh man,
how they do that.
When I volunteered at FOBAP, actually, they had the tickets in the book and they wanted us to scratch them off.
Yeah.
Or they wanted to like write the number of the beer because each beer had like a number designation for it, so that way people could go back and say, oh yeah, I had that one, and that one.
Oh.
Yeah, we got like one in every 55 or 59 beers.
But it was a good fest, and you know what I remembered after we left, I was like, usually the food's amazing here, and I didn't have any food. Like
I didn't either. Part of that's because the first year, so we've been to all four of them, and the first year they didn't have much. They had the donut place, and that's not exactly, that's not going to fill you up.
Right.
And then the second year was the sloppy, muddy, wet year, and then the third time we went was all of a sudden they have food.
Yeah,
Good.
I remember that one. That was last year.
Yeah, and Dan was there.
Yeah.
And then but I still didn't think about it. I still just picked up food on the way and went in. But you're right, they did. When I was looking at the booklet, I saw that they had a handful of good places.
I mean, I saw a bunch of food and it looked great, but we had before we had gotten there, we had both probably just eaten.
Yeah.
Because, we kind of shoved some food in our stomach, so we didn't get hammered right off the bat. So it was like I wasn't really hungry, but I left thinking, damn it, the food's always great here, and I didn't get to have any. But the other thing the thing that we had was what was the most memorable beer for you? I was thinking about that, and for me it was the Imperial Smells Like Bean Spirit from Microphone. It was just like
yeah. I didn't have that one, but I did.
You had to sit with it, but
the Stoic was the one that I liked, I wouldn't necessarily say the one I liked, the one that I remember the best because I had never had it before.
Me too. I agree with that too. I forgot about that, having that, because normally we because that's like a $20 bottle, right? It's a pretty.
Is that the Shoots?
Yeah, it's the Shoots.
Okay.
And so they had the Stoic there. Right off the I can't really describe what part of the place, it doesn't really matter, but I forget what else they had, but that was the one that I was like, that's a fairly expensive beer on the shelves for a bomber of that, and I've never had it, so we grabbed it, and for off the top of my head, I can't remember what the style is.
I want to say it's like quad.
You're right, it is. Now that you say that, it's totally.
Right. I think I put a couple of bottles in my basement, so.
I figured you did, because I know you get a lot of their like more expensive wax covered capped beers that kind of are good for aging. But it's funny, the one thing that happened was Pipeworks actually walked right past us when we were probably at the Shoots, actually, because it was right in that. I remember being in that section, and they were carrying a box full of Lizard King in cans, which is their Mosaic hopped pale ale, I think it is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I'm just,
beer.
I mean, I love that beer so much, and I'm eyeballing him as he goes by with the box, and he catches my eye, and he goes, "Hey, you want one?"
Yeah.
I already had a Belgian quad in one hand, and then, so in the other hand I've got this huge can, a 16-ounce can of Mosaic Hop Pale Ale, and I was like, yeah. He goes, we just canned it like an hour ago. I was like, awesome. So it was funny. I actually met like one other person who was standing there with a can. I was like, hey, what's up? It was awesome. But yeah, I mean, nothing else too crazy there. It's an interesting fest where it's kind of like it's like an evening party or something. It's like a dinner party of some sort where it's not like your raging Dark Lord Day where everyone's just kind of pounding barrel-aged beers. Everyone's kind of probably just off of work. You're not dressed. You're either dressed because you're dressed up because you just came from work, or you just want to dress up because it's kind of a fancier beer fest that you would normally see here in Chicago. So it's probably one of my favorite beer fests in the city or in Illinois that I've been to. So it was a fun time. Anything else that kind of sticks out to you, Kev?
No, just that it's what sticks out to me is, and this is most beer fests I go to. Every time we go, how many new local breweries there were. We were passing by everything, like, I haven't heard of this, and we get to one, and Mike said, hey, they're from Evanston. They probably, out of the 70 breweries here, they probably traveled the furthest. Because it seemed like dozens and dozens from Chicago, half of which, we hadn't heard of, and we're the type of people to hear of these things,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually be able to keep up with all of these. There's so many new ones always coming up.
I used to be able to.
Yeah, but I mean,
5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah.
But I mean, and not only that, there were also breweries that aren't from Illinois, but they ship here. So like Schwartz was there, and you've got a bunch of other breweries that and Lagunitas obviously was there with. They had the Aunt Sally, their sour. Did I have that one? I can't remember.
I've seen it around a ton.
I don't think we did.
Because we stood around that tent, but I can't remember if we had anything. But yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. I've got the book in front of me, and just the first page I'm looking at, there's like 3 on here that I've never heard of. I didn't realize Ballast Point was there.
I don't remember that either.
Band of Bohemia Brewing. They're in the they're off of Ravenswood. Never heard of them. It was.
Remember we stopped by the one, and it turned out it was like closer to my house than Talmouth.
Yeah, that's right.
You're like, where are you guys from? And he says, oh yeah, we're from Plainfield and blah blah blah. And I go, oh my god, that's like 4 miles from my house.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was. It's a lot of fun, and it's cool if you're like at all on watching YouTube videos and of beer reviews and stuff like that, because there's like all the online beer people from Chicago are there, and you're kind of just like seeing everybody just walking around. Chris Quinn from the Beer Temple was there, and it was awesome.
And the old timer in the fishing cap.
Oh yeah. Well, he's just a Chicago Beer Fest staple. You just walk around and you always see that guy. I remember he's been around. It's probably the first fest that you and I have ever been to. I remember going to the old.
We went to Real Ale Fest or Barrel Aged back in like 05 or 06 or something.
Yep, there was like a Real Ale Festival, Night of the Living Ales.
Yeah, we went to that.
To call it. At Goose Island in Wrigleyville, they would have like a bunch of Real Ale casks like in the loading dock area in the back of Goose Island, Wrigleyville. And you would have that area to stand around in and smell a bunch of beer farts because it was disgusting, and it was just a bunch of dudes, just like drinking beers all night. And then they had like the outdoor patio area that they eventually opened up, which was nice for breathing fresh air finally. But I think that was the first. That was like probably one of the first fests that you and I have ever had like a sour beer, because I specifically remember us having that.
I specifically remember that.
And we were both just not sure what we thought of that, and because it was.
Here, let me try another. Like I'll try another. You want to try another? Yeah, whatever. And then we get to the end. Want to get another?
Yeah, and that was way before sour beers were a thing. That was like probably. Before that was probably like a couple years before it kind of exploded.
That was 10 years ago. That was 06.
Yeah, so that was interesting. We got pulled in on that.
Yeah.
I think that's the first, and one of those other Goose Island fests that they've had at that same location. Didn't we have Utopias there before?
Yeah, that was the barrel aged one. That was probably the same year or 6 months later or something. That was a good stretch. We should be 25 again. Let's do that again.
That would be fun. We'd have more time. We'd have less kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Mike was just saying his. I can't believe your wife's due next month. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting close. Getting close.
You're gonna follow the pattern, and there'll be more show absences. That's what happened to each of us.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
Mike was the guy that was on the iPad at our wedding. Do you remember that, Kevin?
Oh! No, I didn't realize. You were the one from the iPad.
Yep.
No kidding. Now, were you there from my couch? Were you on until 1 in the morning, too?
No, we were just there for the ceremony.
Oh, okay. You missed the good part then.
Oh man, that would have been fun to just keep it on for you guys. I didn't think about that.
Every time I see my friend John and I think his wife Shannon I think they were both out there. I know John was out there. Mm-hmm. But every time I see him, he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "Guy, you would have loved that place. That brewery was awesome. Like the beer, the food. It was great. I was like, oh, you're making me feel terrible.
Mike owes you a trip there if you come out to Chicago, because yes, it was every bit as good as that guy was describing.
I do agree. And so with the new house that we're getting, we'll have plenty of bedrooms for guests. So you guys, you can bring the kids this time.
We'll be there with all 3 kids.
Yeah, that's fine. Because Kirsten is usually the one that just travels by herself because there's nowhere else for her to like actually sleep. So, so it'll be nice for you guys to be able to all come, and we'll definitely hit Revolution and wherever else you guys want to go.
Sounds good.
And you know, because that's where you take 3 or 4 kids when you're in Chicago. But still, that'd be fun. What was I going to say? Oh, you know what? I was checking out a story here. Did you guys hear about the, you know, those the 6-pack can holders, the big solid covered ones that not like Oscar Blues does with like the old school, you know, 6-pack soda, you know, things that choke all the fish in the sea. But the ones with kind of like the plastic covers that don't break, and you just kind of toss them to the side. Like kind of annoying. There was like I remember a whole article about how people just hate them because there's no they just can't figure out how to get them off without like shaking the can as you like yank it off. I've sort of perfected it. You kind of have to pull the plastic up a little bit before you pull the can off. That's all. But there's a brewery that has actually created an edible version of these things. So like if they do end up in this, not for people.
Edible by humans?
No, not at all.
Oh. Is it like made out of bacon or something?
No. So there's they talk about there was a famous picture of like a turtle that got stuck in one of those things as a young turtle, and it grew up with like its shell kind of like squeezed in the middle because it had this stupid ring around it its whole life. So they talk about the Saltwater Brewery. I think they're in Florida, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if that's what it says here. Yep, Florida-based brewery. Partnered with an ad agency to create what they say is the first fully edible beer can packaging. Made from byproducts of the brewing process, such as wheat and barley, their 6-pack holders are fully biodegradable and completely digestible. Rather than ensnaring curious animals in a corset of litter, the company's 6-pack rings can serve as a satisfying snack. And if nothing is biting, all right. So also it just decomposes pretty easily too. So it's kind of a cool thing. I don't know if that's gonna pick up, but like the standard holder for these cans in craft beer now are like almost all the same. So I heard there's like one company that makes these, and they're probably just making a killing now that it's like the style of it. But what do you guys think of? So I think we've all talked about how cans are better for beer and all that stuff, but like what do you get? There was like a whole online thing about hate for these holders for the cans.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
there's online hate for anything in the
You're
world. Pick a topic, man.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool idea. Because I
do agree with the people that are saying it's a pain to get the cans out of those hard plastic ones though, because it's definitely happened to me before where I've pulled a beer off of there and then the thing explodes because I think taking it off that ring, just you shake it up and doing it. I'll have to perfect my method, I guess.
You know what? Practice. Keep practicing.
I'll stay on it. I'll stay on it.
Part of the problem is that the first one's the hardest because you almost need to have a blank space in order to get the right angle, if that makes sense. And so the first beer is sort of like, I don't have any good angle on this one. It's just gonna shake it.
That's the one you put back in the fridge.
That's right.
Right. Maybe that's the key.
So since we're coming close to the end of the hour, I thought of a couple over the past week or so. I thought of a couple new topics to throw onto the wheel, but I thought I would read the list back and let you guys know. Oh, I actually did list. Or I added this one. I think I added this one before bringing it up to the group. So 65 IBUs or higher. What do you guys think of that? Because that could be.
That sounds good.
I have a beer in my closet that is not what you would typically think is high in IBUs, but I figured I would bust that one out since I've got quite a few of those in the closet. But here's what we've got so far: it's a triple, a pilsner, Maibach, a Kolsch, a Schwarz beer, Belgian strong ale, an off-centered IPA. Does not have to be a Dogfish Head beer. It's just, I guess that's more of like a weird ingredient within an IPA. A coffee beer, but it's not, but no stouts. So any other style with coffee in it.
Are we going? Are porters verboten too, or just
a porter?
Okay.
I know it's kind of the natural alternative, but do we want to make sure it's neither of those?
You can police yourself.
Honor system, whatever you're comfortable with.
Right.
I think all of these are terms of art. You can,
Yeah.
this might be an IPA for all you know. Ooh, good Saison.
A Brett beer, 65 IBUs or higher, and a brown ale. I took Saison off since we don't want to land on that in another 9 episodes.
Right.
Since
How about a Saison? Could we add a Saison?
The joke, Kevin, I was looking back and I said, "Man, we just did Saisons like 9 episodes ago."
Yeah.
So what do we want to do? I mean, there's a bunch of summer styles that we could always add on here.
Wait, do we have a wild card on there?
If we do not.
You should even.
Oh yeah, definitely have a wild card.
I think that's been missing for a while.
Yeah, I think we hit it quite a bit. Like,
Hey, just put a generic summer seasonal.
That's a good idea.
It's a little bit like a wild card, but
But a seasonal wild card.
yeah, yes.
What about a mythical creature?
Yeah, there you go.
Why don't we make it more specific? It's 6.2% mythical creature.
6.2% ABV mythical creature.
all right, so mythical.
6.2. Oh, no.
Oh my God! You know what's really funny is I just started typing mythical, and all of a sudden it's just started like suggesting mythical creature. I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
Not too weird.
I guess it's not. I just think that's funny. Like what? Okay, mythical creature.
You know, like the Lizard King would qualify.
That's
Now,
good.
lizards aren't mythical. If we're
For
gonna
the Hop Devil.
lizards.
There you
The
go.
Hop Devil. Yeah, I guess lizards aren't mythical, but again, it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh, Lizard King is.
But a Lizard King.
That's Jim Morrison, guys. What are we talking about? Jim Morrison is the Lizard King. He could do anything.
He's mythological, man.
Yeah.
Um,
The Hop Devil.
I've got a really
good one.
good one. A wood-aged beer that is not a bourbon or otherwise barrel-aged beer. That you're just getting the wood character from the barrel. It's not about getting flavor from wine or
Peter
bourbon.
Saison.
Or, yeah.
Does Beechwood aged count?
Yes, it does. Again, honor system. This American's for you.
God, America. I forgot they named that beer this summer as America.
America.
I think they just should have named it America.
The funny thing is, somebody said that, and I guess there's another brewery that already has a beer that's called America, so they couldn't do it.
So they couldn't do it.
Wow.
All right, so that adds 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that ought to do us for a while.
I think so. Until next episode. All right, so we'll apply the changes. Let me unplug this shit. All right. Let's give it a spin.
Oh, your daughter gave you the iPad back.
Yeah, she was nice enough. We have a sound machine. I had to spend money on a sound machine in order for her to give it up. But what are we saying on this?
Ooh, 65
IBUs
IBUs or higher.
That
All
sounds
right.
good. So we're going with some IBUs.
Good.
Sounds good. What time we got here? Oh, we're hitting 9 o'clock exactly. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining. We will see you guys next week, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we always do on Wednesdays. For IBUs, we're gonna do 65 IBUs. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff. What's shivers, Dan? What does that mean?
Because the whisper kisses.
That's creepier than whisper kisses. Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks again.
Cheers.
I'll see you guys.
Cheers.